Welcome back on the channel. Today we're taking one of the most iconic and challenging camouflage pattern of World War II, the oak leaf. I'll be painting this elite soldier in a 1:56 scale. Feature of a mix of a field grey tunic and camo trousers. So let's enjoy the video. Our first step is laying down the foundation. I'm starting with the solid coat of the field grey. For the uniform tunics, this muted green is the classic backbone of the look we're going for. Now let's move on the oak leaf pattern. For my base color, I'm starting with the pale brown. This warm earth tone provides the perfect canvas for a layer of a green we're about to add. It mimics the natural slight fade look of the original fabric. Think of it like a puzzle. The pale brown is the sunlight, and the green are the shadows. If you make your spots too big or too close together, the camo will look like one solid dark mass from a distance. Keep using shapes irregularly, keep your spacing random, and trust the process. It only starts to look real once you add their final tiny dots. If you're painting this oak leaf pattern for the first time, here's my biggest tip. Focus on the negative space. It's too easy to get lost in the green spots, but the magic it's happened in the gaps. Don't try cover the whole pale brown base. Leave enough of it visibly so the pattern can breathe. To add more variability to the gear, I'm using Luftwaffe Field Division blue-green for the breadbag and some of the pouches. This creates a fantastic visual break between the field grey tunic and the pussy camouflage, the trousers. For the flesh tone, I'm going with Barbarian Flesh. At this 1:56 scale, I prefer a slightly warmed, deeper base for skin. It ensures the face doesn't look washed out against the muted color of the field grey and the camouflage. Now it's time to build the skeleton of camouflage. I'm using dark green to map out large irregular blobs across the trousers and on a helmet. At this stage, don't worry about being too precise. We want organic, random shapes that mimic clusters of leaves. I'm covering roughly 40 to 50% of the surface. The goal is to create a strong contrast against our pale brown base. Make sure your shapes vary in size and position. Symmetry is the enemy of a good camouflage. To finish the autumn oak leaf on the bedroll, I'm using Camo black brown. This deep, dark tone is essential for creating the high contrast look that defines the late war patterns. It really makes the warmer autumn colors underneath pop. Now it's time to add some depth. I'm using a mix of dark tone wash and black wash to shadow the entire miniature. This liquid talent flow into the recesses, instantly defining the muscles, the folds into the cloth. Now that our wash is completely dry, we need to bring back the vibrancy. I'm going back with a pale brown for the first stage of layering. I'm applying this to raise the area of the trousers and on the helmet, avoiding the depth recesses where the wash has settled. Here is the tip for clean layering. Use the side of the brush instead of pointing the tip directly at the model. Use the size of the brushes to catch the only highest ridges of the sculpt. This automatically leaves the shadows in the valleys and gives you a perfect highlights with minimal effort. Just like we did with the pale brown, we now need to restore the vibrancy of our dark green spots. I'm layering the green back on the center of the blobs, leaving the dark wash visible only at the very edges and in the deepest recesses of the fabric. By doing this, we create a subtle gradier with the camouflage itself. It gives the impressive of the shadows and highlights even inside the pattern. At this scale, their small steps are what make the figure stand out on the gaming table. Now we are adding the most important layer for the authentic oak leaf look, fern green. I'm painting small irregular shapes inside our dark green blobs. This creates a ring effect where the dark green acts as shadows for the brighter foliage color. By placing this firm green in the center, we are mimicking the way light hits individual leaves. At 1:56 scale, this high contrast is what makes the camouflage readable from across the table. It's no longer just a green blob, it's starting to look like a printed pattern. Now we are revesting the camo black brown for final layering pass of the autumn pattern. After the wash, their dark spot can lose their edges. By applying the color, now we bring back the sharps, high contrast look that it's so typical for late war gear. For the small leather details and their feel fleshy, I'm using flat earth. This earthly brown is perfect for such a natural material like leather straps and the felt cover on the canton. It provides a nice warm contrast to the color field grey of the tunic. Here's where we take it to the next level. If you look closer at my work, you see I'm not just doing the pale brown areas. I'm also taking the dark green and adding tiny delicate spots inside the firm green blobs. To really push the realism of the oak leaf pattern to its absolute limit, we are now adding medium-sized dots. This is the crucial step that creates a third layer of foliage, complexly breaking up the larger blobs and the smaller microdots into a much more organic texture. To give the autumn pattern on the bedroll its signature look, I'm adding light brown highlights. This shade mimics the lighter, driest out oak leaves. By placing it near our dark brown, we create a high contact pop that make the rolled fabric look three-dimensional, even at this small scale. At the 19-minute mark, we are focusing on the soul of the miniature. I'm layering barbarian flesh back onto the facial feature. The key here is to keep your paint thin and only hit the point where the light would naturally fall. This creates a sharp, determined look for our German elite soldier. Now we are switching focus to the special gear of the Luftwaffe Field Division. I'm working on the ammo pouches and the breadbag for the LFD unit. The gear often stood out against their field blue of camouflage tunic. I'm using a base coat that will provide a nice wrong contrast to oak leaf pattern we just finished. Now we are at the 20-minute mark and we are taking the most challenging details, the color tabs. On the right we have the iconic SS runes and on the left the indicator rank. At this scale it's all about precision and very stable hand. We are entering the final minutes of the tutorial. To finish the SS soldier, I'm painting the base with the chocolate brown. This rich dark earth tone provides the perfect foundation. It's neutral enough to distract from the model, but warm enough to complete the autumn and spring color of the uniform. To finish our masterpiece, I'm adding green tuft. They're a little clump of stunted grass at the hike and texture that just can't get with a flat flop. It breaks up the dark chocolate brown base and ties it perfectly with the green tones of our SS soldier camouflage, and with that our soldier is battle ready. I hope this tutorial inspires you to pick up your brushes and try this technique on your own elite unit. If you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more historical painting guides. If you have any question about the colors or the duting process, drop a comment below. I'd love to help you out. Goodbye.